Lights, cameras, action. In this video I muse on my top 10 films. Hi everybody, and welcome to this video where I talk you through my top 10 films. Of the top 10, the top 5 are fixed, have been for a long time in this particular order, and it's going to take something pretty special to leap into that top 5. The numbers 6 to 10 is a bit more flexible. Some of them could change tomorrow if I did the list tomorrow. Some of them could quite easily be replaced by other films. It's been harder to pick the bottom 5 than the top 5 is basically what I'm saying. But here we go, in reverse order. We'll start with number 10. So my 10th favourite film is Purple Rain. As I've established in previous films, I'm a huge Prince fan, and the Purple Rain soundtrack was the album that got me into Prince, and not long after that I got the film on VHS and loved it. I'm not saying it's the greatest film ever made, it certainly has its flaws, but if it only had the live recordings of Let's Go Crazy and The Beautiful Ones in it, it would still have a huge place in my heart. I could have quite easily popped in Under the Cherry Moon and Sign of the Times. Both films I also love. Graffiti Bridge not so much. But yes, they could quite easily be in there as well. But yes, number 10, Purple Rain. Number 9 is a film, The Edge of Love. Absolutely love this film. It was released in, where are we, 2007, blimey, 10 years ago already. I saw it at the cinema at the time because it stars two of my favourite actresses, Keira Knightley and Sienna Miller. It's the story of Dylan Thomas and his wife Caitlin, and his childhood friend Vera. Caitlin's played by Sienna, Vera by Keira. And it's about their tangled love lives, and Vera's husband, played by Cillian Murphy, William, comes back from the war shell-shocked, and it's really fascinating film, very well done. Keira sings in it and she's got a smashing voice. It's funny, it's sad, it's sexy, it's just a really good film and I heartily recommend it, and it's at number 9 and it's The Edge of Love, and it's written by Keira's mum. Number 8, Terminator 2. Love the first film. I even love the third film. Not so hot on Salvation and Genesis. But for me, T2 was the best. Saw it at the cinema twice when it came out. I've bought it on every format going. Multiple copies, depending on special cuts. Yes, love Terminator 2. Don't need to tell you about Terminator 2. I'm sure you've all seen it, and if you haven't, go out and watch Terminator 2. It is a work of art. One of the greatest blockbuster films of all time. Number 8 in my list, Terminator 2. At number 7 is Blowout. This is a Brian De Palma film. I was toying between choosing Blowout and Carrie, but I do prefer Blowout. It stars John Travolta and Nancy Allen. John Travolta plays a sound man for films who is out one night recording sounds for use in his pictures, and he witnesses a car accident where people die, and he captures a recording of it on his sound recording. And it's classed as an accident, but he has reason to believe that it was a murder, that somebody shot out the car tyres. Yeah, I'm trying not to go into too much detail and spoil it, but yes, hardly recommend it. It's sort of it's a conspiracy thriller basically. It's sort of got hints of the JFK assassination, hints of Ted Kennedy and Chapa, however you say that place, where he drove into the lake. Chapa, no, I'm not even going to try and say it. But yeah, hints of that. It is the film that made Quentin Tarantino cast John Travolta in Pulp Fiction because of his performance in this film. As it is my favourite Brian De Palma film, and as I say, one of my favourite films. That's number 7. Blowout. At number 6 is Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. It was a toss between Batman and Batman Returns, both of which I love. Batman Returns almost edges it for its sheer Tim Burton-ness, but I've picked the original mainly because of the Prince music in it, if I'm honest. That was sort of a clincher. It was the first proper tentpole, mass-marketed blockbuster summer release. There had been, obviously, Jaws sort of kick-started that style of release accidentally. And since then, it happened, but Batman was everywhere. If you were around in 1989, you'll know what I mean. It was just saturation. Everywhere you turned, the Bat logo was there. And having always been a fan of Batman from a TV series when I was a kid, I could not wait for the film to come out, and it did not disappoint. That opening where the titles, where it's going round the inside of a Bat logo. I remember seeing that on a huge cinema screen, trying to work out what it was, and just the buzz when it pulled out and you could see that's what it was. Magnificent. Michael Keaton, genius casting. Tim Burton is a god. As I say, music by Prince and Danny Elfman, so my favourite composer for films and my favourite musical artist. Kim Basinger. Ooh. Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Brilliant film. That's number 6, Batman. Okay, so into the top 5, and as I say, these are pretty much fixed. And at number 5, Monty Python's Life of Brian. Love Python. Love Life of Brian. Actually read the script to the film before I saw the film, because it wasn't available on VHS for quite a long time. But when I did see it, wow, it's just the sheer quotability, it's just so funny, it's so well acted by all the Pythons. The script is practically perfect, and at the end of it, that wonderful message, always look on the bright side of life, which is certainly how I try to live my life. Life of Brian is just genius. So number 5, my 5th favourite film of all time, Monty Python's Life of Brian. At number 4, I'm a huge Bond fan. Have been most of my life. Used to get the VHSs out of the video library. As a kid, we used to get them as soon as they came out to watch, and almost as soon as I started collecting films, in fact the first actual films I started collecting I think were the Bond films. 2 main favourites are Licence to Kill, which is, although it's not based directly on a Fleming story, has a real feel of Fleming stories. And my 4th favourite film of all time is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, starring George Lazenby as Bond. Amongst Bond aficionados, most agree On Her Majesty's is the best Bond film. It's very close to the source novel. Lazenby is hugely underrated. Again, he's not perfect, but he is a very good Bond. The story is magnificent. The supporting cast are just amazing. Diana Rigg, Telly Savalas, everyone, all the girls. Yes, can't fault them. It's just a wonderful film. It's long, but it just flies past. The direction by Peter Hunt is amazing. He edited the first 4 films and was given 5 films, and was given the director's job on Her Majesty's, and the fast cutting and the fight scenes particularly are just absolutely wonderful. Yeah, on Her Majesty's. Oh, and it's also got the best score of all the Bond films as well. Just to add that, John Barry's music in it is wow. Yes, so number 4 on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Number 3 is Dogma, and doing this video reminds me I need to get this on Blu-ray. Dogma is Kevin Smith's fourth film. I was introduced to the work of Kevin through Mallrats, which I rented on VHS. Went back from that and saw Clerks. Then Chasing Amy, and then Dogma came out. To be honest, I probably watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back more than Dogma, but Dogma as a film in a whole is just, again, a work of art. So funny, so clever. As a lapsed Catholic, it speaks to my heart and to my head. Again, amazing performances throughout. Alan Rickman is genius in it. Chris Rock is brilliant. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon are great. Brain's gone. Linda Fiorentino as Becky just holds the film. Kevin and Jay obviously turn up and have a prominent part in the film, which is always great. So many other great performances. Wonderful film. Salma Hayek. Yeah, brilliant film. When I met Kevin last year at London Film and Comic Con, I told him Dogma was in my top 3 films, and his response was, "Get the fuck out of it, even my mum doesn't say that." But it is, Kev, it really is. So number 3, Dogma. Number 2, a film I've already mentioned, Pulp Fiction. Tarantino, genius, love all his films. I don't like westerns, but I even like his westerns. Introduced to him, those of you around at the time may recall, Reservoir Dogs was released in the cinema over here, but then it didn't get a VHS release because of controversy over its potential influence to some murders in France, I think it was. So pirate copies were doing the rounds, and my flatmate Terry at university had a VHS, I think it was about a 4th generation bootleg recording of Reservoir Dogs. It was practically black and white because it was, as I say, it was 4th generation, and those of you who remember those times, with each copy of a VHS cassette, because it wasn't digital, quality deteriorated. So yeah, it was practically black and white and had lots of lines over it, but you could still sense what a wonderful film Reservoir Dogs was. So Pulp Fiction came out in '95, and me, Terry and Keith, who was also in our flat, went to the cinema to watch it, and just blown away. It's the colours, the direction in general, the genius of the plot, the intertwining of timelines, the acting, just everything about it is perfect. We came out and Keith was completely lost. He could not follow the timelines that were higgledy-piggledy, and it just threw him completely. But oh my word, film I've watched so many times. Again, like most of these films, I've had them on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, any director's cut, special editions, get them all. Pulp Fiction's one of those. Absolutely love it. Soundtrack's amazing again. Just wonderful. Pulp Fiction, second best film of all time, in my opinion. And my favourite film of all time is JFK. Oliver Stone's masterpiece. Again, a favourite director of mine, particularly around this period, sort of from Platoon maybe through to Nixon. Was Nixon before Natural Born Killers? Whichever way round that was. Till then, certainly done great work after that and great work before that, but that period he was just on fire. I was already very interested in the JFK assassination when it came out in 1991. 1991? Yeah, 1991. I read a couple of books from a library about it. So when the film was announced, I knew I wanted to see it. Went to the cinema to see it. Loved it then. All 3 hours and a minute of it as it was at the cinema. Again, I've bought it on standard VHS, widescreen VHS, special edition VHS, standard DVD, director's cut DVD, box set DVD, or special edition DVD that had an extra disc anyway, and then on Blu-ray, as you can see in the book edition, which is the director's cut, which it adds another nearly half an hour. I think it is. It's running time 205 minutes. So what's that? 3 hours 25 minutes. So yeah, just more or less 25 minutes extra running time on it. I prefer the director's cut to the original just because there's more of it and it's just more magnificence. Kevin Costner is brilliant in the film. Gary Oldman, oh wow, Gary Oldman is just unbelievable as Lee Harvey Oswald. All the amazing actors in it. You got, you know, Kevin Bacon as a small part, which is very handy for 6 Degrees of Bacon because there's so many actors in this film. We link in to that. Michael Rooker plays one of Jim Garrison's men. Then, you know, Sissy Spacek as Mrs. Garrison. Tommy Lee Jones as Clay Shaw. Brain dead. What's his name? Joe Pesci. Just, oh, so many wonderful, wonderful people. I'm doing that a lot because I'm excited because it's a brilliant film. The direction, as I say, is brilliant. The intercutting, the dream sequence where he wakes up with a bolt and it times with a shot, and the magic bullet sequence, and the whole courtroom sequence at the end. I think it's about 17-minute monologue by Kevin Costner. And it's just, oh, it's just so good. I love JFK. It is genius. I used to watch it every 22nd of November. I've got out of that habit because it's, as I say, it's 3.5 hours and it's not always possible. But I do watch it fairly often and I need to watch it again because I love it. Yes, so there we go. That's my top 10 films. It's my opinion. I'm not saying they are the 10 greatest films ever made. There's lots of films that could be in there. There's obvious omissions like Empire Strikes Back, that could easily be in there. Alien, that could easily be in there. Alien, the fourth Alien film I love, Resurrection. I love that film. I know, it's not a popular choice. I'll probably do an Aliens ranking at some point and you'll see that. But I love that film. Yeah, that could easily be in there. Indiana Jones, Raiders or Last Crusade could easily be in there. Die Hard with a Vengeance again, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. So many films that I love and could, as I say, could quite easily leap in, especially replacing the bottom 5. I nearly, rather than Edge of Love, I nearly had Carry On Screaming in there, which is my favourite Carry On film. I'll do a video about the Carry Ons, do a ranking of them at some point, I'm sure. I'll do a Bond one at some point, I'm sure. Anything you want me to talk about, any series of films, any actors, directors that you want me to rank, leave in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Terminator films I'll probably do a ranking as well. It's difficult when there's still ongoing series and Terminator, there's always rumours of another film, so it's difficult to draw a line on those. Similarly with the Bonds, although possibly if I do that after the next film, which is almost certainly Daniel Craig's last, that'll be a good line to draw under. I'm thinking out loud now on the video. Yes, so I shall end the video here. Like it if you enjoyed it, comment below, subscribe if you like. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.